Abacus AI is not just showing another design tool. The bigger story is that it is trying to turn creative work into an agentic workflow. That means the AI does not stop after one screen, one image, or one video. It can understand a goal, plan the next step, use different tools, and keep the original idea alive across the whole process. That is why this release feels different. The impressive part is not that Abacus can generate app screens. Many tools can do that now. The impressive part is that Abacus is trying to make the agent reason before it designs. It looks at the product, the user, the tone, the visual language, and the goal, then builds around that. That matters because most real projects do not begin as clean Figma files. They begin as messy sketches, notes, screenshots, half-formed ideas, and one person saying, "Can we make something like this?" In one demo, Abacus takes a rough hand-drawn travel app sketch with 4 screens: discovery, itinerary, map, and profile. The sketch has arrows, labels, pins, location names, and messy annotations. Instead of just copying the drawing, the agent reads the structure, understands the navigation, and turns it into polished, high-fidelity screens. That is a big shift. The AI is not just decorating a layout, it is translating rough product thinking into something a team can actually react to. The stronger example is the credit card onboarding flow. A basic AI design tool might generate 5 simple screens: sign up, personal details, document upload, approval, and dashboard. Abacus creates 30 screens, split between web and mobile. More importantly, it maps different user paths. There's the smooth path where everything works. There's the pre-qualification path for users who may not be eligible. There's a save and resume path for people who leave and come back. And there are error states for the moments real users actually hit: mistyped information, failed checks, abandoned forms, and confusion. That is the part people are missing. Good product design is not just making the happy path look pretty, it's knowing what happens when users get stuck. Then the demos move from screens into systems. For a luxury sports club app, Abacus does not only generate a few mobile pages, it asks who the users are, whether the app is for members, staff, or both, and what the aesthetic should feel like. Then it builds a design system around deep navy, antique gold, champagne accents, serif typography, and visual rules. From one prompt, it creates member-facing screens like booking, class registration, and a digital membership card. It also creates staff-facing screens like an admin dashboard, occupancy chart, alerts, live activity feed, and member approvals. That's where the workflow starts to feel less like "generate me a UI" and more like "help me think through the product." The hospital operations demo shows why this can be useful, but also why humans still matter. Healthcare software cannot just look futuristic. It has to feel calm, trustworthy, clear, and safe. In the demo, the app uses muted teal and green, with red saved for real emergencies. It includes patient flowcharts, bed management, staffing risk, fatigue tracking, and AI recommendations with confidence scores. That sounds powerful, but it also raises the reality check. An AI can create a strong starting point, but it cannot guarantee the product is medically safe, legally compliant, or actually usable by hospital staff under pressure. For serious industries, this is a prototype accelerator, not a substitute for expert review. The second half of the release is Abacus Studio, and this is where the idea gets bigger. Creative AI workflows are still messy. You might generate an image in one tool, edit it in another. It includes patient flowcharts, bed management, staffing risk, fatigue tracking, and AI recommendations with confidence scores. That sounds powerful, but it also raises the reality check. An AI can create a strong starting point, but it cannot guarantee the product is medically safe, legally compliant, or actually usable by hospital staff under pressure. For serious industries, this is a prototype accelerator, not a substitute for expert review. The second half of the release is Abacus Studio, and this is where the idea gets bigger. Creative AI workflows are still messy. You might generate an image in one tool, edit it in another, animate it somewhere else, upscale it in a separate app, then stitch everything together manually. Abacus Studio is trying to collapse that into one loop: idea to image, image to edit, edit to video, video to upscale, and then final asset. That sounds simple, but it changes the job. The creator is not just asking for one output anymore. The creator is directing a chain of outputs. In the product video example, you describe the product, choose the tone, Include brand elements like logos and colors, and the system generates a finished marketing-style video with visuals, motion, and voiceover. For marketing teams, that does not replace strategy, but it can compress the first draft process from a long production cycle into something much faster. The horror webcomic demo shows the storytelling side. It starts with a dark hallway, a red hooded figure, glowing eyes, grain, static, and comic panel pacing. The final output is not just a moving image. It has mood, narration boxes, camera movement, sound design, and a jump scare structure. Then there's motion transfer. Abacus takes a stylized character and a live-action dancer, then transfers the dancer's movements onto the character while trying to preserve the character's identity. That could matter for brands, mascots, animated presenters, game characters, and creators who want one performance to become many visual styles. The Peacock demo points to an even harder problem: consistency. AI can make one beautiful image easily. The hard part is keeping the same subject stable across a new location, a new edit, and then motion. If the feather shape, body proportions, lighting, shadows, and contact stay consistent, that becomes useful for campaigns and branded worlds. So the real story is not AI can make prettier pictures. The real story is that AI tools are moving from one-shot generation toward connected creative systems. The value is no longer only the output. The value is keeping the intent, style, subject, and structure consistent across multiple steps. But the limitation is just as important. These tools can produce a strong first version, but they still need taste, judgment, editing, fact-checking, brand direction, legal review, and user testing. The danger is not that designers and creators disappear overnight. The danger is that teams who ignore agentic workflows may spend too much time on first drafts while other teams move faster. Abacus is showing where creative AI is heading. Not a magic button, but a production assistant that can move through the messy middle of design and media creation. So the real question is this: are agentic creative tools making designers more powerful, or are they slowly turning design itself into a prompt-driven commodity?